Hey guys, if you like the content, please be sure to like the videos and subscribe to the channel. Thanks. Hey folks, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, doing an 8-4 Born of the Gods Theros draft, and we've opened Forge Stoker Dragon. This card's really sick, so I think we're definitely worthy of a first pick. It's a 6-drop, yes, but really can't deny that ability. It's very game altering, so pretty easy first pick, I would say. Let's see what else is good in here that I like. I like the Spider a lot, actually. I think this is a good card. Glimpse is very good. Conscriptor. A lot of playables in here. The only relatively weak cards would probably be the Hold at Bay, and I guess Deepwater Hypnotist is pretty underwhelming. Still haven't gotten a chance to play Crypsis, but I feel like that card actually could do some things. And haven't played Grizzly Transformation, but I think that card actually does stuff too, so I kind of like them. But yeah, slamming the 6-drop Game Changer. Alright, follow-up pick. Right off the bat, I'm seeing Everflame Eidolon, which I do like a lot, so I don't have any problem second picking that. What else is in here, though? That's good. Crowan Skyguard is definitely good. Swordwise Centaur. The tricks are fine. Mortal's Resolve being better. Divination, of course, good. Gorgon's Head can be good if you have a lot of first strike sort of stuff. Archetype's a little too expensive for what you get, I think, but, I mean, all your guys having hexproof is certainly relevant. Alright, let's just follow up with the Everflame Eidolon. Very efficiently costed fire breather with good bestow. Alright. Best cards in this pack. We've got Elite Skirmisher, who's good. Haven't played the River Trawler yet, but I feel like he's really good too. Nyxborn Wolf is of course good, and Rise the Challenge is perhaps the pick, just to stay in red, stay more open. Kind of am tempted to just take the Nyxborn Wolf, even if we don't end up in green. I just really like Bestow that much. I think Bestow is that good. But am I going to regret not having the Rise of the Challenge? Probably. Rise of the Challenge is a very playable card, so I think even though I like the Nyxborn Wolf in a vacuum more, I'm just going to take the Rise of the Challenge because I'm almost assuredly playing it. I would be very surprised if somehow Rise of the Challenge did not end up getting played in this deck, so let's take it. Okay, well, we can take Rise of the Challenge Dose, get another chance to take Nyxborn Wolf. We have Thunderous Might, which I have played before. I think it's pretty good. Get a little heroic trigger, get a nice little value if you're super deep red, which we currently are. So we could just take the second Rise of the Challenge. I guess I'm not opposed to that. Like I said, very good trick. Not a lot of times where you're unhappy with Rise of the Challenge. +2 power and first strike makes it a very relevant combat trick. But do I want to take Nyxborn Wolf now? Probably not. And Asphyxiate's good removal, but I don't want to move that deep black right now. I'm not really feeling that. Let's take the second Rise of the Challenge. I'm okay with that. Alright. Drown in Sorrow, certainly good sweeper. We also have Nyxborn Rollicker, which has Bestow, so I think we stay on point with that. I could take the Setessan Oathsworn now. We already have 3 things to target it with. It may actually be a card that's worthy of going into green, even more so than the Nyxborn Wolves, just because of how fat he can get. But I think I'm actually still satisfied with the Rollicker. We don't quite have to go into a second color yet. What I'd like to do is see what colors are wheeling, and that'll really help me decide what I want to go into. Plus, we're cutting the last red card out of this pack, so I think if we can cut red super early, we could really end up with a good base red and then a second color, whatever's open. So, all right, we'll cut a second Rollicker from here. Like I said, Bestow is very good, especially with heroic. So I would like to build this. This looks like it's shaping up to be a very good heroic deck. So perhaps just making white work if we can on the wheel would be preferred. All right, well that's a card to definitely make that decision worthwhile. Crowan Phalanx, I've come to really like this card a lot, especially very good in this deck because we have the double Rise to the Challenge, so Vigilance, First Strike, and the pump spell on this is just totally worth it. So not much else really. I mean, Servant is certainly good. I like that card. Rescue Sun Guide is playable. But yeah, we're just going to take the Phalanx. That card's absolutely worth going into white for. All right, let's take the Fearsome Temper here. I like it more than the Farragax Giant. Not much to say on that. Retraction Helix, another Servant in here as well. Very good. Alright, didn't wheel too much that's super good for us, so the best card remaining in the pack is probably the Sphinx's Disciple or the Weight of the Underworld. Presumably we could take the Weight and go into black a little bit, but I'm not sure if that's necessary. Red-blue is also very good, so I could take the Sphinx's Disciple. I do like the removal, though. I don't like weight that much. I probably like the potential value of Sphinx's Disciple more in case we end up in blue. Impetuous Sunchaser is playable, but wheeling a Divination maybe, I would say as a sign, blue could be open. So let's take the Divination here. I don't like Sunchaser enough to take it here. Okay. We can take the Floodtide Serpent. We actually have plenty of enchantments to return already. So I can get behind that. 5 mana 4/4, not great, but if you have comes into play effect enchantments, I can see it being very good. And I like it more here than Epiphany Storm. Although Epiphany Storm Sphinx's Disciple is very good. Alright, we wield the Thunderous Might, so I think it's probably worth taking it here over the second Floodtide Serpent. This card can be very strong, and we already are very base red, so I can see it being good in these next couple packs here. Let's see, neither of these cards are super relevant. Let's just cut the white. Alright, so presumably we're red-blue or red-white. We have both of those options at our disposal. Of course, I would prefer if red-white panned out, because I like the Phalanx that much and all the heroic you can get, but, well, a first pick Fire Drinker Satyr seems like it's totally in order here. I've already got a lot of good cheap stuff going on and good tricks, so this could easily work. And otherwise it's Ill-Tempered Cyclops or Ordeal, which is also good. Battle-Wise Valor also, and Voyage's End in blue is also good. But let's take the Satyr. I like aggressive builds, and Satyr certainly lends itself well to that. Alright, follow-up pick. Well, we can take the Triton Fortune Hunter, have a lot of stuff to target with, which is good potential advantage we can get. Not too much else. Mnemonic Wall, bringing back some cards. We're not playing these Radiants. I mean, we're likely in blue. Triton Fortune Hunter has heroic, generates a lot of card advantage. I think it's perfectly acceptable here. Okay, choices here. Well, Prescient Chimera is a good 5-drop finisher. Aqueous Form, certainly good on heroic and inspired. Spearpoint Oread, very good. I like the Bestow, I like the First Strike. I like having another 3-drop creature. I think we're probably just going to get behind that. Satiable Harpy, of course, very good. Let's take the Spearpoint. I like Prescient Chimera better as a finisher, but I just like the Bestow more and lowering the curve a little bit on our creatures, if we can, because I would like to play something pretty aggressive here, if possible. Alright, well this is going to help us with that. Ordeal of Perforos, absolutely. Very, very devastating, especially when you have 3 1-drops. That would love to have that, so pretty happily snagging that here. Okay, Skull Cleaver, very aggressive. I like it. Griptide, also good. Definitely good. I think we want the Skull Cleaver, though. I'd like to have a high creature count. I'd like to stick to our base red as well as we can. Skull Cleaver is excellent for that. It's going to be very good with the Rise of the Challenges. After you get to attack for 4, you get to attack again and have some tricks for it. I do like the Griptide quite a bit, but blue tabled last pack. Perhaps we'll see some blue tabling this pack as well. Divination was very late. Okay, now we have Not much in the red department, and not too much in the blue department either. We do have Erebus's Emissary, Snarecaster in white, and Gray Merchant. I mean, and Read the Bones as well. I mean, this is some late-ish black stuff. Of course, Gray Merchant's very strong. It's not a very good pick here since I don't have any way to support it. I think I am either doing red-blue or red-white, so perhaps just taking the Snarecaster in case white pans out. For example, I open an Anax and Siamede or something that's going to motivate me to switch to a Borosi build. I can get behind Snarecaster in that situation. Okay, wow, Nessie and Asp, very good. Bronze Sable possibly making the deck if we're short on creatures, which is possible. Otherwise, Wild Celebrants is certainly playable, not great. Destroying artifacts can be relevant, though. I probably don't mind a one-of Celebrants, especially if I want to get out of blue or I need more creatures. I'm just a little more excited by Celebrants than I am by Bronze Sable, I think. It is a 5-drop, but... Okay, well, absolutely a Crone Crusader here. This looks like a great deck for him. I've got plenty of tricks, and turn 1 Crusader, turn 2 Ordeal is very savage beating, but even turn 1 Crusader, turn 2 Bestow Rollicker is very good, so I like it. I can get behind it. Alright, Rage of Perforos, absolutely. We'll play it. No problems. It's good as a one-of. Peak Eruption's a good sideboard. Mnemonic Wall currently brings back Double Rise, Divination, Rage. Actually, not as much as I would like. I think I'd rather have the Peak for sideboarding purposes. I really feel like Peak can break some faces open. Breaching Hippocamp, sure, we could take it. It's a flash creature. Potentially on color. Alright. Take a second Rage. I'm not super stoked about it, but it's playable. Alright, Cut Blue and Boulder Fall. Don't think we're playing that. Okay, so we've got our nice base red going, and we're presumably blue, but it looks like we're going to be light blue. Okay, on to the last pack here. Well, I'd like to take Mistcutter Hydra, but that's not going to happen. I think actually there's no good first picks for us, which is kind of sad. Always mad when you can't pick up a good first pick. So no good red cards in here. Blue cards, nothing really impressive. Just in general, a really lackluster pack for us. So guess we could take a Cavalry Pegasus if white for some reason. I mean, do we even have? We don't even have that many humans at all. Really only have like one. Just really not digging the Pegasus, but it's, I guess, a chance we could use it if I see some serious white cards in these next couple picks. We haven't seen them in the first 2 packs, so I don't know why we would, but I'm really not passing anything we could use otherwise. Alright, Coordinated Assault, certainly fine. Ordeal of Heliod is good. Traveling Philosopher is good. Second Crusader, I think we're more likely to wheel that, so probably just want the Coordinated Assault pretty happily. Take that. Gonna need some more creatures here. Well, there's a Wave Crash Triton. That's certainly worth our time, locking down their stuff and being able to get them with their cheap stuff. Otherwise, we've got Ordeal of Thassa, which is also very good. But I think we want the creature because we're going to be cutting white here. At this point, we're just cutting white. So let's take the Wave Crash Triton. Hope to wheel the Ordeal, but probably not that likely. Alright, good choices here. So now we've got, oh, let me see, Dauntless Onslaught, jeez. Vaporkin, Crackling Triton, and Griptide, all of which are good. I think we want more creatures though, so let's take the Vaporkin. I like the evasion, especially since we're aggressive. I also like the Crackling Triton, but I think we're more likely to table the Triton. I don't think it's going to table, but actually, let's see. The weakest, there's 12 cards in here, so 8 or 7 more are going to be missing, so I guess there's a chance we could get it back, but not super likely. Let's take the Vaporkin. Get a nice evasive creature. Alright, we can take the Aqueous form. We can also take the Death Bellow Raider, which might actually just make more sense. Like I said, I want a lot of creatures, and Death Bellow Raider is just very good on turn 2. So, alright, I can get behind Raider in this deck for sure. Let's see. Satyr Rambler, I guess, is playable. And, that's fine. Nothing else here terribly exciting. At least for us. Okay. Well, Spellheart Chimera. I wish we had more to support that. I think all we have is what? Coordinated Assault. 2 Rise the Challenge. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, not enough in my mind to play it. Dragon Mantle, on the other hand, could be very good, as would Omen Speaker, just to get another creature. But our creature count's actually getting there pretty good. Maybe this isn't a Floodtide Serpent deck, or maybe we don't need the double Rage of Purphoros, but, I mean, pretty sure this is a 17 land deck. I think we're actually going to take the Dragon Mantle. I like the cantrippy auras. Alright, well, I guess we can take Spellheart Chimera here. We're not going to play Coastline. We're likely not playing Spellheart 2, but you never know. We could see a couple more instants maybe. Alright, we can take a Coastline here. It's, I guess, the most useful for us. Alright, Table to Crusader. That's good. We can definitely take that. We may be able to get away. And we got the Peak Eruption too. Could also, nothing else to really take. This could be good against us. Take the Sable. Alright. Well, we may be able to really cheapen this deck, but I gotta look at what our options are. We've already got a couple good other finishers, just in case, but I think we actually have enough early stuff going on where we may be able to get away with a 16 land deck. It depends on how many 5-drops we need to play. But yeah, this deck looks good. Got a lot of tricks, a lot of cheap threats. Okay, so let's take a look here. Just going to go ahead and put in all the cards I'm presumably playing. Anybody playing red's going to be in trouble post-sideboard. Let's put in the Rages for now. Definitely want those. This is 21. You know, 12 creatures though. I was really debating just doing like a Phalanx, but I don't have enough other white. Alright, so our best blue spells, probably the Fortune Hunter. I like the potential value we get out of that a lot. Drawing cards is huge. Wave Crash Triton for sure. I'd like the Divination. I'd like the Vaporkin. Disciple, I could take it or leave it in this deck. It's not really on plan with us. Floodtide Serpent's fun and fine, but probably not necessary. I think we want this. I think we want this. I think we want these two. I think that's all the blue we really need. And then we can be really light blue too. We can probably get away with 6 or something like that. 6 sources of blue. Vaporkin seems a little bit awkward, but it's evasive and it's a creature. 15 threats is certainly what I want. I think we probably do a 16 land deck. We have 1 6-drop, although it does reward us for having a lot of mana. 3 5-drops, I might be able to change something there. Like perhaps since we don't have any 4-drops, could maybe do a Breaching Hippocamp, but there's really not that much that untapping helps with. I guess Spear Point. Let me set aside all our non-creature stuff here so I can get a better look at it. Alright. Let's see. A lot of targeted stuff. Definitely. A little bit threat light, but, or not threat light, but beef light, I guess I'm trying to say. I don't have a lot of meaty stuff in here. Forward Strokers, certainly a good enough finisher. Celebrants, but beyond that, not a ton of good finishers. We've got some good disruption, though, and card advantage. So we certainly have enough heroic. I guess the Crusaders are pretty underwhelming, but like I said, I'm probably going to do 16 lands. We really are a cheap deck. So perhaps we can cut a Rage, one of our Rages, and then we just get away with, like, it sucks we didn't get any red spot removal. This deck could have desperately used a Magma Jet or a Lightning Strike, and we just didn't get it. Really only got the Rage, which is pricier than you want it to be, but certainly useful. I guess we also have the Wave Crash Triton, so we can at least lock down like Shipwreck Singer in a pinch or something like that. But I guess Shipwreck can still make us attack. Yeah, well, it's an issue, but this deck looks fine. Yeah, it definitely looks fine. Divination's a little bit unexciting, but I could see us gassing out, so maybe Divination could be really useful. Finding more threats or tricks for us to use. Otherwise, Floodtide Serpent, but how many enchantments do I have? One. Actually, Floodtide Dragon Mantle's good, synergy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, well, there's certainly enough cards in here to make Floodtide Serpent work, but 5 mana 4/4, would I rather just play that over the Wild Celebrants? Maybe. I could probably get behind that. Maybe I want the 4/4 with... I guess it is technically a drawback most of the time, but could be potential value with this. Maybe it's not worth it to do it for the one card. I like that Wild Celebrants can actually break like Gorgon's Head and that rare cycle from the rare cycle from Theros, like Bident and Bow of Nylea and all that. Yeah, I guess that's okay. So what do they say for lands? It'd probably be like 3, yeah. I don't think we do that. I think we actually do 10, 6. I don't really need double red until later, and I do kind of want to get blue fairly early, but I definitely stand behind 10. Yeah, this deck's not bad. I would have liked it to be a little more bangy, but I mean, we have enough ways to finish. We have enough disruption to get our cheap guys through, and we're only playing 16 lands, so we're not super punished by having all these kind of weakish one-drops. Ideally, this pans out into a lot of consistency, but we shall have to see. So I'll see you guys round 1.